y'all, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are day 8 of our sourdough starter series. When I left you on day 4, we had just started doing our double day feedings on Larry, the sourdough starter, and here he is today. Yes, I did take him out of the jar and clean the jar completely down so that you guys can get a better visual of this sourdough starter. So let's recap the steps really quick. Day 1 is when we set our sourdough starter up. Day 2 and day 3, we're doing single feedings per day. Day 4, 5, 6, and 7, we're doing double day feedings. Now we are on day 8, and Larry the sourdough starter is actually quite active. I've actually used Larry to make his very first loaf of bread. There it is right there. I prepared this on day 7, which was yesterday. From start to finish, it took about 12 hours. Now, if we take a peek inside the jar, we're gonna see that this sourdough starter is very bubbly and it's very active. If we look on the outside of the jar here, right there, I put a line this morning. After I cleaned the jar down, I put him back in his jar and marked where he was when I put him in. And you can see that he did continue to rise a little bit more this morning and then has now fallen back down. This is a really good indication that this sourdough starter is nice and strong and very much ready to make bread. Now, if we smell this, it's a very nice, pleasant smell. It's got kind of a fruity, acidic smell. It's not quite like pungent sour. It's a very nice smell. Now, if you smell your sourdough starter and it smells like rotten feet, it's probably no good. Now that the sourdough starter is actually nice and active, we can actually leave the coffee filter off. It's not needed anymore. We just needed to use it to get it started. So now I have a lid and I'm going to put the lid on and I'm gonna leave it very, very loose. I am not gonna tighten it all the way down like that. I'm gonna leave it very, very loose. We wanna leave it loose enough to where any gases can escape, but also where nothing can get in. And we're just gonna leave this on the counter, just kind of tucked away. Now, if you're not planning on making bread daily, you can definitely stick this into the refrigerator, feed it, and then stick it into the refrigerator, and it will do perfectly fine until you're ready to make bread. You'll take it out of the refrigerator and let it come to room temperature, discard and feed and get it nice and active again, and it'll be ready to go just like that. So now that my sourdough starter is ready to be used on a daily basis, I'm gonna go back to feeding it just once a day and basically making bread once a day. Now, if your sourdough starter is not as active as mine, that's okay. Sometimes it takes up to 14 days for the starter to become nice and active and ready to use. What you will do is you will continue with the twice-day feedings until the sourdough is ready. Basically until it doubles up and it holds that double. So that's really it. I told you, making sourdough starter is really easy. It just takes a little time and patience to get it going. But once sourdough starter is ready to use, it is a rock star in the kitchen. And did you know that sourdough bread is actually easier for us to digest? So it's actually a healthier bread. Now, in the coming weeks, I'll show you guys exactly how I use my sourdough starter to make English muffins, pizza, bread, waffles. So get ready and don't be afraid to experiment with your sourdough starter. And for more great videos, click right here and I'll meet you over there.